Here's something interesting. The boy who I feel is the psychic reflection of Jacob Wetterling, the same boy who told me that Wetterling means weather child at the start of May in 2014. His birthday, Wednesday 6th of September 2017, coincided with hurricanes Irma and Jose in the Atlantic. Jose became a hurricane on his birthday, Wednesday, September 6, 2017, and Irma was at her peak strength, 185 mile per hour winds, and hit a couple of islands that day, which have gone down in history as the strongest landfalling hurricane in Atlantic history. Was made on the birthday of the boy who I feel is the psychic reflection of Jacob Wetterling. And he's the boy who told me that Wetterling means weather child. And he told me that because he knew I'd been calling Jake the Storm Boy, and that I called Jake the Storm Boy, and he said it's kind of interesting that you call him the Storm Boy because I'm pretty sure Wetterling actually means weather child. And he was right. Wetter in German is weather, Ling, little one. So, Jacob, his birthday is tomorrow, Saturday, 17th of February. And it's the last in a list of 9 dates, starting on Friday, 9th of February, and ending on Jake's birthday. Friday, 9th of February was the start of a heat wave in Queensland and northern parts of New South Wales, which is still going. And it's expected to last for 13 days or thereabouts, and Nathan Breeze died aged 13. And yeah, it's interesting that we've got 2 cyclones right now, one on each side of Australia. Well, little mistruth there. One of them's not quite a cyclone yet, but it will be by tomorrow, by Jake's birthday. It will be called Tropical Cyclone Kelvin. But as of right now, it's called Invest 91S. And it will be called Kelvin. Kelvin's going to form on Jake's birthday. And on the other side of Australia, the east coast, we've got massive waves, the biggest for 2 years, being whipped up by Cyclone Gita. And it made landfall on the 13th at midnight. Like I said, Nathan was 13 when he died. So, interesting reflection. Jake the Storm Boy. Tropical Cyclone Kelvin off the Kimberley coast of West Australia on Saturday 17th of February 2018. And it will still be Saturday the 17th of February in Minnesota, USA, where Jake's from, right up until 5 PM on Sunday the 18th of February, my time, which is in New South Wales. So, one more date after all that, and that is Friday the 9th of March 2018. I probably should mention that Invest 91S is reflective of the value of the word mirror, MIRROR, added up according to their places in the alphabet. Those letters equal 91, S. Invest 91S. Spirit equals 91, Wetter equals 91. And Jake Wetterling, Jacob Wetterling, yes he did, he had a dog named Marcus. So, yeah, let's check out this little piece from Sky News Weather Channel on the evening of Friday, the 16th of February 2018. I probably won't get around to uploading this until tomorrow. In fact, I definitely won't. We're pretty slow internet here, so I'll probably go where it's a bit quicker to upload. But yeah, here we go.
Another tropical cyclone looks to form off the west coast of the Kimberley region within the next 24 hours. But what exactly are tropical cyclones? Now, they're basically rotating clusters of thunderstorms. That's essentially what they are. They're spinning storms. Now, there's actually several low-pressure systems on this screen. Now, there's this cyclone right over here. That's the one that's severe tropical cyclone Gita. That's the one that's been bringing some pretty hazardous surf to the New South Wales and Queensland coast. It's also the system that completely smashed Tonga and parts of Fiji. And right over here, all this massive cloud is another system that could be developing into Australia's 5th tropical cyclone. Cyclones are pretty easy to see from satellite imagery. This is basically what a satellite sees when it looks down on Earth. You can see New Caledonia just over here, Fiji to the north. A different view of this storm, taken in visible imagery, was tweeted a little bit earlier on Friday by the Met Office Storms, and they label Vanuatu, New Caledonia, and Fiji. Now you can see the eye of that tropical cyclone right over there. And right over here, this is where we have that shield of cloud, the cirrus shield as it's called, and that's those thunderstorm tops in the atmosphere. So very, very huge systems. Notice hundreds to thousands of kilometers wide these systems are. Now the other one that's forming near the West Australian coastline is still not quite having that sort of development. Now once it starts to form into those sort of spinning systems, that's when you know it's a fairly powerful tropical cyclone. In Australia, we categorize tropical cyclones' intensity based on the maximum wind gusts in them. Now, the Category 1 tropical cyclone, that's a max gust of gale strength, so it's 90 to 124 kilometers an hour. So that's the maximum gusts that this cyclone can produce. It's a way of measuring risk and damage. A Category 2, well, that's an increase in that maximum wind gust. 125, those are destructive winds, the very destructive winds. 164 kilometer an hour wind gusts. When you get to
yeah, just on that point, 164 kilometers per hour is the value of Jake's name. Jacob Wetterling equals 164. Aligns with volcanologist, and I mentioned that because I came across what happened, like a story about Jake for the first time at the start of February 2010. And just after a couple of months later, a big volcano went off in Iceland, and the name of that volcano has the same value as Jacob Wetterling, 164. Eyjafjallajökull or something like that. Volcanologist equals 164. Wetterling is 133. The same, and Wetterboy, Mirror Boy, Philippines, 133. I mentioned Philippines because there was a volcano went off there on the 23rd of January. And 23rd of January was included in my list of dates, or Jake's list of dates to watch. So Mount Mayon went off in the Philippines. Another volcano went off in Japan as well on Tuesday, 23rd of January, 2018. So today, Friday, the 16th of February, one more date after this. And this is a prophecy. So it's not science. What's on TV right now is science, but this is not science. This is not religion either, because religion's full of hypocrisy. This is spirituality. So, back to this. 164 just happens to be the value of Jake's name. Just so I mentioned that. Oh, and wedge-tailed eagle, which I also associate with Jake. And this is a wedge-tailed eagle feather. 125 is wedge-tailed eagle.
Category 3 and above, it starts to be referred to as a severe tropical cyclone. So from Category 3 and above, we start to say severe tropical cyclone as opposed to just tropical cyclone. And you can see the highest category, over 260 kilometer an hour wind gusts. That is absolutely ginormous. That's enough to cause widespread destruction and damage. But other than the winds with cyclones, there's more to that, of course. They also bring flooding impacts. Depending on how quickly they move, they can also bring huge storm surges and giant waves and coastal inundation. So there's a lot of impacts over a broad area with tropical cyclones, which is why they're so risky. And unfortunately, Australia, one of the most cyclone-prone countries in the world. We get a lot of cyclones forming in Australian waters. So stay tuned. The latest updates will have those latest cyclone watch and warnings areas with Tropical Cyclone Kelvin as it forms in the Indian Ocean.
And you may not have noticed, but if you go back and look, the temperatures tomorrow, Canberra is 31, and so is Brisbane. And that is the value of the name Jake, which is why I chose, or it's probably why Jake chose to include the 31st of January in his list of dates. And 27 is the temperature right now in Sydney, and it's also tomorrow's maximum forecast for Sydney. And that is for Saturday, 17th of February, which is Jake's birthday, and he would have been turning 40 this year. So, that's the last date on Nathan's list of dates, and then one more date, Friday, 9th of March 2018. And it's probably worth reminding you that Jake had a pet dog named Marcus.